Coming up, Defense Secretary Ash Carter orders the Pentagon to stop reclaiming re-enlistment bonuses.
And French officials have completed the demolition of the migrant camp The Jungle in the port city of Calais.
And Apple Watch sales are down. All this and more on Citrus TV News live at 6.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Megan Mystery.
And I'm Nick Papantonis. A New York State trooper was killed this morning in Wilton. That's tonight's top story.
A New York State trooper died this morning after being struck by an oncoming vehicle on Ballard Road in Wilton. The accident occurred when trooper Timothy Pratt, a 30-year veteran, exited his vehicle and was immediately hit. He died 3 hours later at the Albany Medical Center Hospital. Governor Cuomo issued a statement today calling Pratt a, quote, loving father, a friend, and a neighbor. His commander, William Keeler, also spoke to the media earlier today.
Throughout his career, the younger guys looked up to this guy. He was a 30-year trooper who still had the fire in him, and he enjoyed doing the job. And, he went out doing what he loved doing. He died the way he lived, helping people.
A famous illustrator is coming to SU tonight. The Community Folk Arts Center is hosting James Ransom for an artist talk. Ransom is known in his career for illustrating children's books. He was responsible for designing over 50 picture books in his past 20 years, as well as book jackets, greeting cards, and pieces of magazines. The presentation will start at 7 p.m. Blackstone Launchpad is hosting its monthly e-meetup tomorrow. The meeting is dedicated to discussing topics of interest for entrepreneurs. It's open to anyone on campus who is interested, and tomorrow's will focus on industries molded by entrepreneurship. The event will take place on the first floor of Byrd Library.
Manlius police officer Carrie Wolongovitz has filed papers indicating she might sue the Manlius Police Department. Claims against her coworkers include charges of sexual harassment, hostile work environment, and discrimination. Officer Wolongovitz says male coworkers spoke about sex on and off the job, made vulgar remarks, and told her to find another job because of her gender. The notice of claim she filed is against the Manlius Police Department, multiple individual officers, the Manlius Fire Department, and multiple of their officers and chiefs. The televised debate between John Katko and Colleen Deacon took place last night. Katko, a Republican representative from Camillus, and Deacon, a Democratic representative from Syracuse, are running for the 24th Congressional District seat. The two discussed many issues, and both sides personally attacked the other. The debate touched on issues like energy policies, the heroin and opioid epidemic, and campaign finance reform. The two will meet again next Monday, followed by two more debates on November 2nd and 6th.
Pumpkin picking is a very popular activity for families this time of year, but one Syracuse couple's style of pumpkin picking is, well, picky.
Citrus TV news reporter Maria Cinti got to know one couple who does it a little different than the rest.
With the fall season comes many traditional activities for Central New York families, and visiting Pumpkin Hollow is no exception. But while many couples and families visit the pumpkin patch to walk through the corn maze or enjoy a hayride, the reason why one Syracuse couple goes every year is much more unique.
We hunt the fields for green pumpkins. Our son is a graduate of Notre Dame, and we are a Notre Dame family, and therefore we must have green pumpkins.
We think.
Huh? Great. That's perfect, dear.
Sure.
It's been a 25-year tradition for Ted and Janet Lankowitz, an activity they began with their son and have continued doing as a couple ever since.
So now it's just kind of, he jokes about it and we remind him that we're going to go do it. And he jokes about, well, you can eat green ones, right? Yeah, green. So.
Now Ted and Janet go through a very specific process when they're searching for pumpkins. Once they arrive at Pumpkin Hollow, they immediately go to the farthest end of the pumpkin fields from the entrance, and then they search through the branches and leaves until they find the perfect green pumpkins to take home.
Since mostly bright orange pumpkins have been featured at the pumpkin patch, the perfect green pumpkins could be very difficult to find. But that's what Ted Lenkowitz says makes the search all worth the while.
There's no demand for the green pumpkins. So if we can find them, we can get them, we can buy them. There's no competition for green pumpkins here.
But more than anything, Ted and Janet agree that this tradition will never get old.
It's part of our fall. It's part of the fall. It wouldn't be the same if we didn't do it.
Coming up after the break, a new poll shows Donald Trump up in Florida.
And the president of the Philippines announced that he wants U.S. troops out of the country in 2 years.
Well, it happened. The first snowfall of the year on October 26th. Welcome to Snowy Q's. Find out when this orange nation will be covered in a white blanket in my full weather forecast coming up.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Secretary of Defense Ash Carter is stopping the Pentagon from collecting repayments from National Guard members. Thousands of California soldiers were paid bonuses during their service in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars.
After soldiers received millions of dollars in bonuses, years later they were told to repay back the money. Secretary Carter says this has put an unfair burden on the National Guard members.
A new poll released by Bloomberg today says Donald Trump leads by 2 percentage points in Florida. Trump polled at 45%, while Clinton trailed at 43%.
This poll comes in the wake of heavy campaigning in the state from both nominees. Trump was in St. Augustine and Tampa on Monday, while Clinton campaigned in Lake Worth and Tampa earlier today.
Election day is 13 days away. Both candidates have campaign stops scheduled until the day before ballots are cast.
And speaking of the campaign trail, Donald Trump is taking time off campaigning to promote the opening of his new D.C. hotel. The move has been scrutinized by critics as the days until Election Day are numbered and Trump's poll numbers are continuing to decline in different states.
Trump's campaign manager has backed the move, saying it highlights his business expertise. Trump will be campaigning in North Carolina following the hotel's promotion. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte announced his goal to remove foreign military presence in Japan. Duterte is willing to cancel base hosting agreements made with the U.S. under past presidents.
President Duterte has expressed desire to build a closer relationship with China. Here's what he had to say about his goal of removing foreign military presence.
Trade and investments, especially in the next 2 years. My country, freed of the presence of foreign military troops.
Two powerful earthquakes hit central Italy this afternoon. The first earthquake, a magnitude 5.5, the second rated a 6.1.
The earthquakes come just a month after a different earthquake killed 300 people.
Officials have reported only 1 or 2 injuries from today's quake so far.
The earthquakes came just 2 hours apart, damaging hundreds of homes and forcing many to sleep in the streets. ISIS suicide groups are retaliating against the thousands of U.S. troops invading Mosul to retake the capital from ISIS control.
Witnesses told CNN the suicide groups are coming from Raqqa, Syria, wearing uniforms and carrying weapons. ISIS fighters have been placing bombs in vehicles and on bridges that cross the Tigris River.
Secretary Carter said that the Mosul operation would not slow the efforts to capture ISIS's Syrian capital, Raqqa.
French officials declared the refugee camp The Jungle empty this morning after they started dismantling the camp yesterday. As the migrants departed, some set fire to their tents as a tradition, which fast-tracked the demolition.
5,000 migrants have been given shelter throughout France since Monday. Cleaning crews have started to remove debris from areas of burnt land left behind.
And it has been so cold for the last few days.
I know I woke up today and there was snow on my car and I was not happy, and I'm pretty sure that our weather anchor, Lindsay Wolfson, was thrilled to see that there's weather in the forecast coming up.
Well, you're right, guys. It was definitely cold this morning, and it was definitely snow. I know, snow way, Jose. Yes, it was really snow. As you trucked through class this morning, as the sleet was hitting you, trust me, it was snowing. Right now, temperatures are currently 39 degrees, 0% chance of rain currently, aka precipitation, as well as snow, because we're at that border point where it could either be rain, sleet, or snow, and humidity is around 51%. Now, as we take a closer look at current temperatures in our region, we can see that most temperatures in our area are pretty consistent with what we are at around 39 degrees, high 30s, low 40s. As we get more towards the western of New York, you could tell slightly higher, but still pretty chilly. But then again, that's pretty typical for end of October in Syracuse. Now, as we take a closer look at our Doppler radar, now I have to apologize for this. It's going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of precipitation moving across the region through the next 24 hours. As you can see, there's a big purple mass moving forward, and that is this huge gradient of snow and precipitation coming through our area. So tomorrow we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of rain, sleet, and snow. Now, as we take a closer look tonight, before that snow hits us, it's going to be 34 degrees, 5% chance of precipitation at the beginning of the evening and get higher as we go through the night. Humidity around 73%, pretty mild for Syracuse, especially this time of year. As we look at Thursday's forecast, I'm sorry, it's going to snow. 42 degrees is the low, 100% chance of rain and snow tomorrow, and humidity is going to be extremely high at around 89%. Now, as we take a closer look at our Thursday forecast, tomorrow when you wake up and head to class, it'll be around 34 degrees, midday 37, and by 6 p.m. it should be around 41 degrees. Make sure if you're leaving that house tomorrow, you have your boots ready to go, have a coat with a hood, because it's again going to be rain, snowing throughout the entire day. What's interesting, though, is last week we were 65 degrees, and today we're about 30 degrees lower. But as we take a look at our temperatures for the next 7 days, temperatures are pretty consistent. I mean, 40s, 42, 44, high 50s. But then early next week, temperatures are going to go back up, thankfully, into the high 50s, mid 50s. So hopefully this wind chill won't be too bad for the next few weeks. Well, as we take a look at our 5-day forecast, tomorrow, as I said, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be snowy. Make sure to have that raincoat. 42 degrees is the high, 39 is the low. Friday, 44 degrees. It's going to be raining again. Not as strong as a precipitation chance, but still pretty strong. Saturday is going to be 60% rain. On Sunday, it's going to be 47 degrees, but it's finally going to be sunny. And on Monday, it's hopefully going to be sunny even again at 50 degrees, and it's going to be great.
Lindsay, I was laughing over here because when you were talking about those snow chances, you said it with such a smile. You're probably the only happy person on campus with that. Now, how much snow are we expecting to get over the next few days?
Well, temperature is still pretty warm for snow. It's in the low 40s, high 30s. So we're still pretty close to that freezing point. So it's actually going to be more slippery, more slick. It's going to be a combination of rain and snow. So it's not going to be completely sticking to the ground quite yet, but it's still going to be there.
Thank you, Lindsay. Coming up after the break, Mercedes has introduced their first pickup truck to their lineup.
And Donald Trump's star was defaced on the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. Stay with us.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Toyota is recalling nearly 6 million cars in Japan, China, and Europe over faulty airbags. The company says Takata airbags are inside Corolla and Yaris models made between 2000 and 2001. The airbags in 2006 to 2014 models could also explode in hot temperatures. The recall also includes any airbags that were installed as replacements in 2010. Faulty airbags are attributed to 16 deaths worldwide. More than 100 million Takata airbags have been deemed defective since May of this year.
A decline in smartwatch sales could be hurting Apple. Apple Watch sales dropped 72% last quarter. Experts say a lack of specialized features and increased competition were key reasons for the decline in orders. Despite the drop, Apple is still beating its competitors in the smartwatch market.
Southwest Airlines has taken a serious tumble today. The stock fell over 12% since yesterday afternoon. The company has been suffering from an industry-wide trend after passenger revenue per available seat mile fell far below expectations for every airline. Southwest suffered the biggest losses in the third quarter, and experts predict they will fall even farther in the fourth quarter.
Coming to the market next year, Mercedes-Benz has unveiled their new pickup truck, the X-Class. The truck comes as an off-road version and sleeker version to highlight Mercedes' style with the feel of an SUV. Europe, South America, and Australia will be the first markets to see the new vehicle. Mercedes has said that the pickup is in consideration for a launch in the United States, but no timeline has been made.
A famous backup dancer who went missing Sunday night has been found. According to police, Shirlene Quigley was found safe and is receiving medical treatment. Quigley has worked with stars like Beyonce, Rihanna, and Missy Elliott. The dancer is being held in an undisclosed location and is expected to be released later this week.
And here's something that makes me happy. The hit BBC drama Sherlock announced its long-anticipated return today. The British series stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman will return for their fourth season on January 1st, 2017. The show tells us the story of Detective Sherlock Holmes solving crimes in modern London. The series is known for its long episodes, short seasons, and has fans around the world, including your anchor. And while some political analysts are saying Donald Trump's campaign is falling apart, his Hollywood Walk of Fame star is actually in pieces. A California man took a sledgehammer to the star this morning. The man was dressed as a city construction worker and said his original plan was to remove the entire star to auction off. The removal didn't quite go as planned, and the entire face of the star is now ruined.
Coming up, Syracuse basketball earns high preseason marks. The Orange football team prepares for its matchup with the bye week. And of course, we'll talk about all the World Series action. Keep it right here on Citrus TV News.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size?
It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. Syracuse football is finally getting a much-deserved break after starting the season with 8 straight games. In order to clinch bowl eligibility, the Orange only needs to win 2 of its final 4 contests. Like any bye week, teams can take advantage of the rest to regain its health, but for Dino Babers and the squad, they need to use this opportunity to get key players back to 100%.
We really needed the bye. A lot of times when you have a bye, you start off the next game a little bit slower, but we really needed the time to heal. The Virginia Tech, the Boston College, the Connecticut, those were physical games. They really were, and we're banged up, and we need our guys to get some rest. We need to go out and do some coaching. Our players need to work on their studies a little bit, and then we need to come back together and get ready for the last third of the season.
The nation's second leading receiver, Amba Edetawo, has been named one of ESPN's top 50 college players. The grad transfer from Maryland found his place with the Orange this season and currently leads the ACC with 6 touchdown catches and is on pace to break the Syracuse single-season catch record. Edetawo's 33rd rank by ESPN adds to his list of accomplishments so far. He was also named to Sports Illustrated's mid-season All-America team. Basketball season is just around the corner here at SU, and the excitement around the Orange is buzzing. Players and coaches participated in ACC Media Day today, unofficially marking the beginning of the season. Coach Boeheim and some of SU's seniors talked about the anticipation for the start of the season.
On this year's team, I think we very deep this year. And we lost 2 key players, Mike and Trevor, last year, but we have 5 new players that's coming to take their spot, and I think we should be overall good, if not better than last year.
Andrew and Tyus and everybody that came in are really talented, and they'll do a really good job of replacing them, and they've been showing that in practice, and I know they'll do the same thing in the games, and I have a lot of fun playing with them, and I know I will all year also.
Obviously, it takes time to fit those pieces together, but certainly if you don't have those pieces, you're not going very far. So it's a great problem to have, and to have those guys and have Pascal eligible this year to give us a little bit more presence in the middle. And I think all of our players have really worked hard in the offseason. I think I see big improvements from our returning players. That's always good.
2 players who weren't at today's media day also received some love from sports writers. CBS Sports named Tyler Lydon the 23rd best player in the country, and grad transfer Andrew White grabbed the 65th ranking in the top 100 poll. Syracuse's roster is deep and talented at all positions, and they are projected to finish 5th in the ACC. The Syracuse women's tennis team snagged 2 victories at the Northeast Regional Tournament. Valeria Salazar, who only stands 5'4", rose to the occasion this week in New Haven, Connecticut. The senior won the singles title and then worked well with her partner Gabriella Knutson to claim the doubles crown. Both players have qualified for the National Indoor Tennis Tournament next Friday. Now out to Cleveland, which had just about as great of a night as any sports fan could ask for. While the Cavaliers' championship ceremony was going on next door, the Indians hosted Game 1 of the World Series, and boy did they win big, 6-0. Corey Kluber was absolutely unstoppable for Cleveland, throwing 6 innings of shutout baseball against a young and dangerous Cubs lineup. The star of the night was Roberto Perez. The defensive specialist hit 2 home runs on the game for the Tribe, leading them to a Game 1 victory. Moving on to tonight's World Series game, it's going to be one heck of a pitching matchup. 2015 Cy Young winner Jake Arrieta takes the mound for the Cubbies against Cleveland's Trevor Bauer. Bauer has a chance to give his team a 2-0 lead in the series, which historically gives them great odds to win the whole thing. Chicago's lineup features Kyle Schwarber, once again in the DH spot, who missed the entire regular season due to injury. He made his return to baseball last night with a double deep off the wall and is hoping to help bring the Cubs back to Chicago with the series all tied up. Nick, Megan, back to you guys.
We'll be right back, Syracuse.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So, Lindsay, tell me, it looks like it was going to be pretty warm on Tuesday. Is that warmth going to stick around at all, or is it just Wednesday?
Probably not, unfortunately. Probably will peak out around the mid-50s, high 50s, but unfortunately that temperature is going to drop back down. I know, I'm sorry. I come with very bad news, but definitely temperatures are going to drop, especially before Thanksgiving break.
All right.
And so when do you see our first significant snowfall happening?
I would say before Thanksgiving break, before you head off to go back home. It's definitely probably going to be a snowstorm.
Oh my gosh. I am not looking forward to that snow again. No.
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, that's all the time we have for Citrus TV News live at 6. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News and like us on Facebook. I'm Nick Papantonis.
And I'm Megan Mystery. Have a good night, Syracuse.